You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another movie review. Today I'll be reviewing the 2019 Color Out of Space movie, which was starring Nicolas Cage. It also had Tommy Chong in it, so that was interesting. The Color Out of Space is one of my favorite H.P. Lovecraft short stories, and there have been a total of 4 film adaptations of it. I incorrectly stated that there were 3 in the DVD collection update. However, that's because I didn't know about the German one. So there's a total of 4 adaptations. This is the most recent. I gotta say, this is my favorite H.P. Lovecraft on-screen adaptation. It doesn't follow the original story to a T, but it definitely captures the feel of the original story and hits most of the major events. It takes a lot of liberties, but it has to. It's a movie adapting a short story. It can't be, a one-to-one adaptation. For those of you unfamiliar with The Color Out of Space, it's a story about a meteor that crashes on a small farm, and the family who live on it begin to get affected, as do their crops and their livestock. That is also carried over into this film adaptation. Part of what makes The Color Out of Space unique is the thing that's attacking them is just a color. It's a color coming off the meteorite, and no one understands what it is, and that's kind of what makes it scary. And this movie stays true to that. You never get a full explanation, which is good. And I believe they take some lines directly out of the short story for the beginning and end when the main character is monologuing. I believe that those are direct quotes from the short story. It has been a while since I've read it, but I believe that they were. The movie itself does take a minute to build up, but once shit just starts going haywire, it's fucking fantastic. It's creepy. The characters start going nuts from the color that hits them, and just a bunch of unexplainable shit starts to happen. Characters get fused together. Livestock gets mutated, crops grow weird, people start hearing voices, and people start going insane. The practical effects in this movie are really, really well done when you see practical effects. However, the CGI is a bit lackluster and isn't the greatest. It's definitely not the worst CGI I've seen, but it's not good. The movie itself does have a bit of comedy in it, as most movies would, but it doesn't go overboard and doesn't change the entire tone. Once shit starts getting creepy, it stays creepy. I'm not going to give any spoilers to this movie, but it is fairly accurate to the short story despite the liberties they've taken with it. So if you're a fan of the short story, The Color Out of Space, I would highly recommend watching this movie. They did modernize it, but they didn't make it super obnoxious with modernizing it. So, obviously it no longer takes place in the 20s or whenever the original took place. The original was written in the 20s, so I assume it took place in the 20s or earlier. They had a few nods to other Lovecraft works. They actually featured the Simon Necronomicon in it, which is the modern-day Necronomicon anyone could buy at the bookstore that claims to be, remnants of the real Necronomicon. But I'd highly recommend checking it out. It's a good, creepy little movie that adapts one of my favorite Lovecraft short stories. Nicolas Cage's performance is a little bit over the top, but it is Nicolas Cage, so you know what you're getting into with him, but it doesn't ruin the tone of the movie either. If anything, it adds to it when he starts to go insane. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about the 2019 Color Out of Space movie. The creator does plan on making a trilogy out of this, the next one going to be Dunwich Horror, which I highly look forward to as well. There has been another movie of Dunwich Horror, which I have seen, but I will be checking out his version as well. And from what I understand, he's going to be featuring a recurring character between the 3. I won't say who, just so you don't know which characters live or die, because there are people that live and there are people who die. Because it is a Lovecraft story, so you expect there to be death. But other than that, I look forward to his Dunwich Horror movie. He has not revealed what his 3rd movie will be, but I'm looking forward to it if he keeps up the same level of quality. I will also be checking out some of the other Color Out of Space adaptations in the future, but I'm not going to overload myself on it too much at once. Anyway, this has been Fugitive Red-Eye. Have a good one. I'm gonna fucking die here, Jack!